So look, man, you can watch this video and put $20,000 extra in your pocket at the end of the year, or you can go watch another guy on YouTube edge an overgrown sidewalk. Guys, what are we doing? Okay, man, you are losing a large portion of your profits to overhead costs. Specifically, all the profit that you are earning throughout the month, you are using that profit to pay for overhead, your rent, your utilities, your insurance, and it's eating away. That's why you get to the end of the year and feel like you've worked really hard and you feel like you should have made money, and you look at your bank account and you're like, I got $10,000 or $15,000. Dude, that's because you are self-funding all of these overhead costs. What if there's a better way to do that? What we're talking about is an overhead recovery calculation, and in simplest terms, what it's passing the buck to your lawn care customers. The reason we do that is so our lawn care customers can help us, the business owners, absorb the cost of running our business. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stop the bleeding, how to pass these costs along to your lawn care customers every month, and have more money in your pocket at the end of the year. I really feel like by the end of this video, there are two things that are going to happen. Number one, you are probably going to be shocked at the amount of overhead that you have every single month. The amount that it costs just to run your business, not even cutting a blade of grass or trimming anything. Like, you have costs associated with just for the privilege of having a business. You're going to be shocked, number one, at how much those costs are every month. Number two, I think you're going to be very hopeful whenever you see at the end of the video how much more money you can have in your pocket at the end of the year if you will implement what I'm about to show you. I'm going to walk you through a basic overhead recovery calculation, and look, I've made this super simple for you. I want you to understand why we are doing what we're doing, but at the end of the video, there is a link where you can download a recovery calculator for free. It is no strings attached. I'm not asking for your email, nothing like that. You literally just download it and you can put in your own numbers so you can work on this in your business. It's literally a free resource for the lawn care community so we can get our heads wrapped around what does it take to actually get profitable in this industry? How do we start knowing our numbers? What is it that separates really profitable lawn care companies from guys who are just getting eaten alive every month? It's stuff like this, guys. And again, I've made this as simple as possible. Just download the thing, plug in your own information, and I think if nothing else, it'll start changing the way you're thinking about running your lawn care business. So first, we need to clarify what overhead costs are, okay? In a nutshell, and just hang with me here, you basically have two costs for your business. You have indirect cost and you have direct cost for operating your business, all right? In a nutshell, that is what you have in your business. What we are concerned with for overhead recovery is our indirect cost. So some examples of indirect costs are going to be rent payments, storage unit payments, your insurance every month, utilities every single month, interest on loans, accounting fees. The list goes on and on and on. And again, I've itemized all this in the spreadsheet so you can put in your own information. Direct costs are going to be things that are directly related to the job. They could be labor costs for completing the job. It could be like the fuel and stuff for your mowers, your string trimmers, mower blades, all that stuff. They're separated, again, into two camps, okay? Indirect cost and direct cost. We need to get a good grasp on our indirect cost for running our business, all right? So step one, the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to add up all the monthly indirect cost for owning your business. Like, just for the privilege of having a business, let's add up what it actually costs you every single month just to have your doors open for your company. So what we have here in the left column is the category for indirect cost. And then right down the center, right down the pipeline, this is an itemized list of direct costs for operating our business, okay? Now in the right-hand column over here, I have my monthly total for each of these items. So you can see, we got things here like rent, we got utilities, we got general liability and auto insurance and workers' compensation policy. We got business licenses. We got our Florida annual report due every year. We got county business license. I got auto registration, trailer registrations. I got stock dealer certificates. And you can go down to accounting fees, bookkeeping fee. Like, guys, the list goes on and on and on, and you might not have really thought about these expenses because these are things that are eating up. They're literally eating up your profit every single month. So again, you can go hit down here and see, like, okay, all these expenses that I have every single month. What we want to do is we want to add them up. And for my business, a rough estimate is the monthly overhead cost for Florida Turf Pros is $1,815. What this means is that Florida Turf Pros incurs $1,815 in costs every single month before we turn on the PTO to our mower, before we cut a blade of grass, before we do anything. Another way of looking at this is we start every month in a $1,815 hole. And here's the thing, guys. I run a lean company. We really do. And for most lawn care companies, these overhead costs are typically going to be lower than somebody in like tree care or running a bona fide landscaping company. The reason is because your insurance is much higher with those services. Your workers' compensation policy every month is much higher with those services. Your interest on the trucks, like the chippers, and then the big trucks for landscaping, like your interest is higher every single month on all those things. So again, whenever you go and plug and play with this and add in your own information, I think it's gonna be very, very eye-opening whenever you look and say, holy, look how much money we have to generate just to come out of a hole every single month. Okay, so you've added up all of your indirect costs for your business for the month. Now, what in the world do you do with that number? How do you make heads or tails of that, and how is it applicable to you? Step 2, what you've got to do is you have got to figure out how many jobs are on the books for you every single month. With my company, on average, we're servicing about 120 lawns a week. So if you run that out over the course of a month, it's about 480 lawns per month. What I'm doing is I'm going to take our indirect cost and divide that by our total jobs. If I take $1,815 and then divide that by 480 jobs that are on the books for mowing, then that comes out to $3.78. What that means is on every single mowing job, I am in a $3.78 hole just to break even. Another way to look at that and how I apply it to my business is this. If I have a lawn that I look at and I'm estimating and I say this lawn is $45, I am automatically going to $49 for overhead recovery. I'm adding about $4 because I know on average, that's what it takes to recover overhead in my business. Likewise, if I got a mowing job that is typically a $55 job, I'm bidding that out at $59 because I've got to recover overhead. But let's suppose you're a landscaping company or a paver company or a tree company, and you don't have 480 jobs to spread this out across your clients. Well, how does that work and how is it applicable to you? Well, let's say, for example, for simplicity's sake, let's say you still have the $1,815 in overhead every single month, and you only have 15 jobs on the books for that month. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to take your overhead cost and you're going to divide it by the number of jobs. So divide it by 15. What does that give you? $121. So what that tells you is that on each landscaping job that you're doing, all right, if you're doing 15 of them in the month, each landscaping job, you need to be tacking on about $120 extra just to cover overhead. If you're looking at a job and this job's like, Matt, this is a $1,200 job, every time, $1,200 job. No, this is a $1,320 job because we are recovering overhead. And again, I want to go back to landscaping and tree companies and hardscape companies. They're in the same industry, but they're in a different boat than us lawn care guys because your number probably is going to be much, much higher. I think you probably will be shocked at how much overhead you need to recover on every single job. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told you that I could possibly put $20,000 back into your pocket. I want to show you how that works now. Since I am adding, on average, $4 to each job to recover my overhead every single month, what that does is it's wiping out our overhead for the month. I'm recovering that amount. So that $1,815 over the course of 12 months is what? $21,780. And that's what happens. We get near the end of the year and we look at our bank account and we're like, God, I really felt like I did good. What happened? What happened is you were using your profit. You were using your net income to fund all of your overhead and you were not recapturing that overhead. If you will take the time to implement this, to just sit down, plug in I made this as simple as possible. Plug in the number, start wrapping your head around why you need to charge a little extra for overhead recovery. And I mean, who the heck wouldn't like to have an extra $20,000? And look, if you've got a big business, this is even more important. The question is, Are you going to take the time to simply just sit down for the next 10 or 15 minutes, plug your numbers into this ready, made to go sheet for you and divide it out and decide how much you need to charge extra? Or are you going to continue funding all of your overhead out of your own pocket? That sounds like a bad deal to me. Look, man, you might have several hundred lawn care customers that you can take all these overhead costs and spread them around, okay? You don't have to absorb all that. Spread it out among everybody. Let them help you. It's expensive running a business, man. Why not pass along some of those costs to your clients? In essence, that is what an overhead recovery is. So again, are you going to take the time to do it? Or are you going to simply continue self-funding all your overhead costs and reducing your cash position at the end of the year? Come on, guys, be better. We got to be better.